Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another lesson that I pray that you find edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 9, out of the NLT, that these people are stubborn rebels who refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instructions. They tell the seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right. Tell us nice things. Tell us lies. Forget all this gloom. Get out of our narrow path. Stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel. And that's the mindset of 2/3 of you jakes. You don't want to hear the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So, what the Lord did was he put it in the mouths of these devils to tell you exactly what he's going to do, or what's exactly is coming down the pipe. This devil that you see on the screen has told you that there's going to be hard times. There's going to be food shortages. There's going to be energy shortages. He has even shown you that there's going to be racial tensions. He's even gone as far to show you that there's going to be a war, and that your children are going to have to fight in it. You may have to fight in it. He has shown your daughters that he no longer needs them. And all of this is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. At the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is at the point where he's almost done telling you people to get right. You people are almost at a point where the doors of mercy are on the verge of closing, and judgment will go forth. Hell, judgment has been going forth. Before the 4th of July weekend happened, this devil has told you that there will be a shortage of gas. He's gone as far as to say that the reserves will be depleted in a few weeks after the 4th of July. And while he said that, shortly thereafter, there were festivities presented to you. Wrestling matches at the White House lawn, carnivals, games, sports, festivals of singers and dancers, and all types of bread and circuses. And then on top of that, a 250-year anniversary of the most wicked kingdom that has ever been upon the face of the earth. And what did you jakes do? You sucked it up. Hell, even the New York Knicks won. You can't make this up. You just can't make this up. And there's been reveling in the streets, people celebrating and doing all types of wickedness. Lord knows the shit that's been going on off camera. But it's just total wickedness. And we, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, have been warning you to get right. Seek him now. Seek him early before the evil days draw nigh. Seek him. And what do you jakes do? You sit back and you told the prophets you don't want to hear it. You know, some of you are even family members who are now starting to realize what we have been saying has been true. That the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai are faithful and true, for they're not our words, because we come out of the scriptures. They're the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that is happening right before your eyes. And a lot of you people are still asleep. And some of you are starting to realize, wait, hold on. They spoke of these things. I heard somebody say that. Who were those guys who said that? Very soon, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to pull his men off of the highways and byways, and you'll be left to these false teachers, these false divinators, these false men who have been leading you down the wrong path and who will lead you down the wrong path. The scriptures tell you that that's going to happen. As a matter of fact, let me get it. It's in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. I'll start at verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man say unto you, Lo, here is the Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. It's about to get bad out here, people. And you spent your time pulling away your shoulders from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Let me see if I can get that, because that too is scriptural. Let me see, I forget where it was at. Con. Let me bookmark this while I got it. Salakia, brothers. The book of Zechariah, chapter 7 and verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulders and stopped their ears that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law of the words with which Yahweh Bashim Yahushai of hosts has sent in his spirit by his former prophets. And those prophets are here today warning you that the end is nigh. You know? Therefore came a great wrath from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai of hosts. You know? There's going to be a great cry of the people. Because while you were celebrating your bread and circus that, you know, this devil has conjured up for you to enjoy yourself in, while you were doing that, he was doing other things, or they were doing other things in the background to set you up for the slaughter. The scriptures say that my people are led to the flock as a slaughter. No, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter. Let me get it. There's a lot of you people, man, are about to get it. And the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has been warning you. We have been warning you, because this devil said that there's going to be a fuel shortage. And what comes with a fuel shortage? High gas prices. You know, just this weekend, when you were enjoying your, you know, bread and circus, you know, the temperatures in Babylon the Great In a lot of places exceeded 100 degrees Fahrenheit along the East Coast. And yet, none of you, or most of you, didn't even consider that as being something to question. You know, you look at it as global warming or, some other thing that happened, you know, not realizing that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is returning. You people are about to get it. Hold on a second, I'm still looking for that preset. You people are about to get it, and you just don't know it. And sometimes, man, these tablets are a problem. Salakia. I forget where it's at. It'll come to me in Lord's will. It'll come to me as this lesson's going on. But, you people are led as sheep to the slaughter. Why? Because you refuse to hearken unto the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You rather go out there and, commemorate 250 years of your oppression. That's crazy. 250 years of your oppression. And when you look at what has been going on over the past weekend, you have been seeing Jakes murdered. You have been seeing people burned. You have been seeing riots. You have been seeing, anomalies with the weather happening. Here it is. It can be 108 degrees this hour, and then the very next hour you can have a rainstorm followed by hail. And the people do not consider these things. They do not consider the works or the judgments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua until it's too late. And so while you people are doing just what these devils want you to do, concentrating on other things other than Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, they're sitting back and they're just basking in your ignorance. They're they're sitting back and they're taking it all in. They're taking in the destruction of you Jakes, Babylon the Great, the world for that matter, with a deep breath of relief, because they need you to be ignorant. They need you to be stupid. They need you to not concentrate on what they're doing. And while you're concentrating on the other bullshit, they're setting you up. They're setting you up for destruction. They're setting you up for famine. They're setting you up for blackouts, And that's another thing, a week ago, and, it may still be in effect. I don't know. But, there was a heavy strain on the power grid, that was being spoken about, but not spoken about. You people had no idea of how close you were to being in the dark, as a lot of other people were in the dark. Because we're hearing about how these other nations in these other countries are on the verge of, great collapse themselves. And when they start saying these things, you really need to sit back and wonder why. Why are you starting to hear more of great collapses happening throughout other parts of the world? Well, they need this great reset. They need to shut down the entire system worldwide in order to bring about their NWO. The infrastructure for the mark of the beast is already set. It's already here. The programs are already running. They just need everything to be set to a global scale. And that's what time you're in. They're in a time where they're ready to just start shutting shit down. And one way to shut shit down is, one, get rid of the fuel. So even if they kill the power, you have no means of getting any fuel to power your generators or put fuel in your vehicles, to commute. They're getting rid of that. And once you get rid of that and your vehicles can't move, then the food collapses. And once the food collapses, everything else collapses. Because what you're starting to hear is, there's no there's really no imports of fertilizers. And so now your foods won't be grown by these farmers, and with these issues going on over there with the Strait of Hormuz, and being that your medications are all synthetically based, there goes your medical, there goes your medicine. And most people don't know about herbs. They just know about the medicinal shit that, their doctors give them. A lot of people don't know about garlic, turmeric, ashwagandha, elderberry, and ginger, and, all these other herbs. They don't know about these things. You got a whole bunch of people on dialysis, and once the power goes out, there they go. You got these crazy motherfuckers on brain meds, so everything is just crumbling and falling apart, and these people are reveling in it. They're basking in the sun, so to speak. And so while you suffer, they're watching you suffer and doing absolutely nothing about it. And so, hey, things are just going to get worse over here in Babylon the Great. A lot worse. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 12 and verse 21, and it reads, "And the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth?" And that's what you Jakes have been saying. I'm pretty sure, you got some people saying some bullshit about, what was going on through the C-19, about how, we may have said that Babylon the Great may not bounce back from this, or, this may happen or that may happen. And a lot of you people may have said, well, you said that happened, but it didn't. Well, just wait. There's more. Because now they're talking about another lockdown. Now they're talking about greater pestilences and, a greater famine than 1939, or a greater blackout from the early 1900s, and a greater war than the last two wars combined, and a greater civil war and a greater race war. But wait, there's more. And so while you sat back and you said that, the vision that we had failed, no, it didn't fail. It just didn't happen at that time. Well, we're in that time closer than ever before, where Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is, let me just get it. Let me read Ezekiel 12 and 22 again. Son of man, what is that proverb that ye in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Because you don't think it's going to happen. You didn't think it was going to happen then, and when it didn't happen then, you don't think it's going to happen now. Verse 23, tell them therefore, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. Yeah, because you're going to be in it. It's no longer going to be a thing of, well, you said it might. No, you're going to be in it. It's going to be happening to you right before your eyes. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and every effect of every vision. Yeah, every vision that the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has told you is going to happen, it's going to happen. And when it happens, there ain't shit that you're going to be able to do about it. Because when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai called, you did not listen. You You didn't hear it, but you did evil before his eyes. And so, hey, enjoy your bread and circus, because as you notice, after it was all said and done, what did you end up having to do? Monday morning the 5th, you had to get your ass up and you had to go back to the plantation and pick up where you left off. So this ain't living, and if you considered last weekend a form of living, or a form of a form of relaxation while you were burning your ass off, then you're mentally disturbed. I'm going to close out on this. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 12, and verse 24. For there shall no more any vain vision or flattering divination. Salah. For there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. Because it's about to happen, Captain. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is pissed off with you people. And he's even more pissed off with the wicked every day. So, hey, you've been warned. You've been warned. So at any minute you can face a blackout. You can face, a economical collapse, a civil war, a world war. Of course, the MOTB has got to happen first before the nukes fly. But nonetheless, shit's about to happen on a level where you people just aren't ready, because you haven't built up your spirit and you haven't built that relationship with the Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You haven't built up your faith, so to speak. You jakes don't even care to know the names of your creator, the creator of all things that you see upon the face of the earth. You people don't even care to know it. How fucking insulting is that? But hey, you're going to get your just results, your just desserts. So keep living in this wicked kingdom as if you're thriving in this wicked kingdom. And a lot of you people are just being set up for destruction. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find that right quick. I did say I was going to look for it. Let me see. Let me do it this way. Oops. Let me do it this way. And I'll close out on this. Let me see how to spell it. Oh, gosh, that's a lot. Salakia, brothers. Let me see. There it is. Salakia. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 10, and it reads, Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. And that's just what's happening. You're being set up for the okie doke, being led to your own destruction. Why? Because you did not listen to the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua when you yet had liberty. And so with that, I'm going to close out, and I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honors to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Harakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.